What's popping with the population? It's another episode of Do Rag with the Cape Road. As you see, it's me, Dre, here just giving you a episode about people telling people what to do with their body parts. Currently, Louisiana has passed a bill that makes having an abortion pill put into the same category as having a controlled substance. Louisiana, it's already illegal to seek an abortion or whatever. You can only get one under certain circumstances. So they're just running these draconian laws to further subjugate women to whatever bull crap they want to push in this patriarchal society that we live in, this psycho-patriarchal society that we live in. Because when you consider the fact that as far as the abortion pill, they did studies about 63% of abortions that happened, I guess the previous year or whatever, would happen by using the pill. They're forcing people to either one, give birth, or two, die, because you don't think about like ectopic pregnancy. You don't think about like all the things that can happen when a woman is pregnant that can lead to her and the baby dying. They only look at it from a weird production line kind of idea that no, we need to keep pumping out babies, and it also kind of ties into a great replacement theory ideology, because there's a lot of whites, I say Asian because again, Europe isn't a continent, it's connected to Asia, but that's another talk for another time. But the whites with this ideology that you're slimming the numbers. And don't get me wrong, it's not just white men that are about this, but those are the ones that are in a lot of the a lot of the more prominent positions of power. But to play the game that you're trying to protect children while at the same time mass shootings happen in this country at an alarming rate, and you do everything in your power to make sure there is no curtailing of the purchasing of firearms in any capacity, and you keep running the logic that, yeah, we need to focus on mental health, but then you also do everything in your power to strip and destroy the medical system, like even by telling women that if they get an abortion pill that's considered a controlled substance and they're going to get arrested. You think that doesn't cause mental stress and duress, you idiot? Like, I feel like they treat the termination of a pregnancy by somebody as like a superpower. Like, ladies are just out there running around just freaking off and like, it's all right, I'll get a plan B in the morning. Like, fam, you are completely negating the experiences of so many people by acting as though so many people are just terminating pregnancies casually. Like, you're disregarding people that have suffered assault. You're disregarding people that are in relationships with people who won't be there for them when they try to raise said child, and putting those people in a position to have to raise said child when they don't even have the capacity to do so. Then some might argue, well, put them in the adoption system, put them up for adoption. Do you realize how trash the corporation that is the U.S.'s adoption system is? Like, their foster care system is terrible. You're like, nah, but we, babies, we need more. But then you do absolutely nothing. You fight to try to get rid of any kind of child taxes. I mean, as far as like giving parents extra money. You don't want to make childcare like mandatory, as far as like not something that someone should have to spend their last on to be able to take care of their kid. And then you simultaneously demonize people who are on public assistance as though they just need to work harder, but then the jobs that they work underpay them because there's so many people that are underemployed that they then work long hours to not get paid enough and then don't have enough to pay for childcare and then try to apply for public assistance and make too much to actually get it. But you act as though you care about women, but you don't, because you're framing the idea of a woman having to terminate a pregnancy as a odd privilege, or like she's like the X-Men, like she's like Jean Grey or Storm or something, or Jubilee. Jubilee shouldn't be an X-Men. She don't have no real damn powers, but that's another conversation. Shout out to Jubilee though. You play this game like you really care about women, but you don't, and you have like politicians like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris acting as though they care about women's rights and their bodily autonomy. You have somebody like Kamala like arguing, against like stuff that bills they pass in Arizona and things of that nature, but while simultaneously supporting a genocide in stolen Palestine, aka Israel, and in Gaza, in Rafah, and every place else that they are mass smoking people. They've killed over 35,000 people. They've liquidated over 35,000 people. And I think about 14,000 or 15,000 are women and children. So those people, those elected officials, have the unmitigated gall to purse their lips and speak about women's right to their bodily autonomy, while at the same time, there's children hanging out of windows with legs missing. They're finding bodies of women and children with their hands tied behind their backs. You don't care about women, bro. A lot of people don't really care about women. I had a friend, I still have a friend, she's still my friend, that really framed it perfectly in regards to how women, those who identify as women or whatever, are treated in this society. As far as it goes with their relationship to men, women are just something men jerk off inside of. And the result sometimes happens to be a child that some of those men don't care about. But they don't see a woman as an individual. And I will argue that further when you think about the manosphere and you think about how a lot of these men speak about that run this red pill bull crap, how a lot of these men speak on how, you don't want to get with a lady that's sleeping with mad other dudes, like you want to get a pure girl and you want to blah, blah, blah. It's like, fam, are you living that life? Why are you judging this woman for having sex? Does she judge you? And then you want this pure girl, if everybody is chasing after this pure chick, but then you can have sexual experience, who are you having sex with? If you are arguing that, skeleton key, she can't let everybody in, she's a human with her and makes her own decisions. She can do whatever she wants. It's just like arguing the possessiveness of a relationship in and of itself. When you hear people like, that's my girl, that's my dude. Y'all in a relationship, y'all have this social contract that y'all supposed to, be exclusive to each other and, not screw over each other's trust. But at the same time, if that's your girl, if that's your wife, if that's your husband, if that's your whatever, they are still an individual. Whatever they do is not a reflection of you in regards to if they cheat on you. It's like, yo, I can't believe you did, your trust is broken. They are a person, though. They're going to do people things. You have to trust a person to just be a person. Whatever they do is not a reflection of you. You don't own them. So when you have these people in the manosphere, when you have politicians who act like they care about women, And they speak on like, yeah, women bodily autonomy. We want y'all to be able to do whatever you want to do as far as like have health care. But also we really don't care about, the thousands upon thousands of children and women that are dying in Gaza. We don't care about the thousands upon thousands of children that are dying in Sudan. We don't care about the thousands upon thousands of children that are dying in the Congo, dying all over the world, that are dying in this country. We don't care about, as far as in schools, Uvalde and a plethora of other school shootings. We don't care about none of that. We just really care that you either, one, vote for us, two, you come from a social group, a community that is a representation of us that's going to vote for us so we can stay in power and get money, because that's what we care about. Because as I've said before, they worship money, not God. That's not what they see. I just realized I made a snowman. Whatever. Or the chakra thing, if you've ever seen those. Whatever, bro. Nevertheless, the argument that these people care about women is a very, very disingenuous argument. You don't care about women. Because if you cared about women, then, again, social services would be way better. The way in which we look at sexual assault would be way better in regards to believing the victim until we have the complete facts, so you don't necessarily land-base the accused. And then if it comes out that the accused did the thing, they go to prison or go wherever and actually get rehabilitated to be a better person. Sometimes maybe coming back into society or going somewhere else and figuring it out on an island somewhere like Genosha, but for pedos. But like, hey, that was my X-Men. I'm staying in the X-Men lane. But like, you don't care about women, fam. Y'all don't care. The fact that Louisiana is like abolished, like basically abolished abortion and all that in their state, and it's criminalizing an abortion pill, you're killing women. Because again, there are ectopic pregnancies, I believe I said that right, and all types of other complications that come with being pregnant. Do you realize how insane it is to have a child? Think about all of the animals in the world. Humans are an animal too, but just think about all the animals in the world giving birth and all this other stuff, and people like, who own dogs or whatever, like, I had a litter. Do you see how stressed out that dog is with a bunch of other little doggies sucking on her teeth? And you care and love about that dog or cat or whatever pet you have at home, but you can see that dog or whatever cat struggling, and you can kind of empathize with the stress that animal is going through. But then you have your wife or girlfriend who has a whole human inside of her it's a whole human inside of her. And you are just like, nah, you don't have a right to your body. But our dog does. You don't, but our dog does. So, postpartum also affects the partner. Some of the times, if the guy is actually involved in the life of the child, that doesn't mean he's abandoned the home, but I mean, like, sometimes dudes can be detached while still being at home. Sometimes dudes just don't feel it just because they don't feel it. But overall, like, postpartum actually affects men too. And I wasn't trying to compare women to dogs, but saying that you would rather care about your dog giving birth than your wife or your girlfriend. And you see how difficult it was for you to breed your damn Shih Tzu or whatever, but you don't understand that you've put some of yourself inside of this person and it's incubating, whatever the hell. Clearly, we did not really have sex ed at school. I barely learned sex ed. I was already having sex by the time I learned sex ed, and it was really just like a video, and I was like 11th grade. I wasn't even paying attention. But
man, sit your dumb ass down.
There's powerful niggardry at work here.
Put these women through this stress of having a whole life inside of them that is literally taking away from them as it is adding to them, as far as weight and whatever hormonal things that are going on, that can literally kill them. There's, especially a black woman, because the black mortality rate when it comes to birth is pretty high. And that's because, surprise, science is racist. Not science itself. Science itself is just is awesome in that it is what it is until it isn't. But a lot of the people that were practicing science was super racist and had this idea of like, oh, black people can take more pain than other people, and when black women are at hospitals complaining about their health and stuff like that, they're just doing too much. And it doesn't matter your social class, because Serena Williams has a story about how they didn't care and she almost died giving birth because they don't care about women, and especially if you're a black one.
Isn't that weird, black man?
Yeah, almost as weird as what's gonna happen if you call me that again.
What is he?
But do you realize that we live in a society where you have a woman like Kamala Harris, who is somebody that happens to be black, who is arguing for women's autonomy in America, but really just for votes, who doesn't care about thousands and thousands and thousands of children dying in Gaza and still in Palestine, aka Israel, who has argued that we should lock up parents for truancy problems.
Would not be standing here were it not for the education I received. And I know many of us will say the same thing. And I believe a child going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco. And frankly, my staff went bananas. They were very concerned because we didn't know at the time whether I was going to have an opponent in my re-election race. But I said, look, I'm done. This is a serious issue, and I've got a little political capital, and I'm going to spend some of it. And this is what we did. We recognized that in that initiative, as a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. The school district has got a carrot. Let's work in tandem around our collective objective and goal, which is to get those kids in school. So, to that end, on my letterhead, now let me tell you something about my letterhead. When you're the DA of a major city in this country, usually the job comes with a badge. And there is often an artistic rendering of said badge on your stationery. So, I sent a letter out on my letterhead to every parent in the school district, outlining the connection that was statistically proven between elementary school truancy, high school dropouts, who will become a victim of crime, and who will become a perpetrator of crime. We sent it out to everyone. A friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She brought all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
Shut up, bitch!
What? Like, who has put many people away because she's a cop. The Joe Bidens of the world, who were talking about seeing beheaded babies that didn't exist because it's not true. Because as far as the statistics go, I think it was only 1 or 2 actual children that they were able to chronicle or whatever that lost their life on October 7th, as far as the Israeli people go. But you don't care about the thousands upon thousands of children dying in Gaza, in the Congo, in the DRC. Oh, it's the Congo, my bad. In Sudan. You don't care about these things. You just care about votes. You just want power. These people don't care, bruh. And it's very odd. And they act as though, as far as on the other side of it, act as though abortion is the thing that is destroying the fabric of this country in regards to, because women fall art thou loose type logic.
$300, that's the price of living? What? Mommy, I don't like this clinic.
You don't really care about promiscuity of women, because if you look at the damn stats of a lot of these politicians, they all freaky, bruh. They don't care. They just doing it for their voting base. And their voting base don't really care. They just really want to control women, bruh. Because, again, you're acting as though a woman needing to get an abortion is a joker. Like, it's a big joker. Like, we're not playing spades. Do you even use jokers and spades? I'm a man of Uno. I've played spades a couple times. I am a man of Uno. I'm not going to talk down on spades, especially as a black man, but man of Uno. Nevertheless, you acting like shorty getting an abortion is a draw for. Like, some women have miscarriages, like, before they have their babies. Some women, the baby passes away during the birth. A lot of things happen because, again, this is a whole human creating another human. How is that not connecting with people? And the fact that they can run game that an abortion pill is a controlled substance is insane. You're acting as though these women just want to have abortions. And granted, there might be some that do, but that's none of your damn business.
$300, that's the price of living. What? Mommy, I don't like this clinic.
Because again, who are you to them? They are themselves. So I say all that to say, stop being weird, fam. Like, women are people too. Every connection that somebody that identifies as a man, but let's just go, if you want to be just not even, if you want to be not necessarily problematic, but if you want to be like base, heterosexual male that identifies as a man, heterosexual female that identifies as a woman, on a base level, bruh, y'all are just people. Every relationship between a man and a woman does not have to be a romantic comedy or romantic. You can just be friends. You can just be people around other people. So why are you telling other people what they can do with their bodies? But that's insane. Again, a woman having a child is the wildest thing ever. You have a whole human inside of you at the same time that you're living your human life. The fact that we are narrowing people down to their gender roles is why we're in the predicaments we're in today. Because what makes a man and what makes a woman is completely up to you. Like, gender is a choice that you make. How you identify is up to you. Masculinity and femininity are up to you. I remember having a conversation with my same friend that said that quote earlier. And she brought up, gender and, masculinity and femininity being kind of dumb. And then I was saying, like, yeah, it is. Because what does that mean, bro? As a man, I can't love my kid as much as my wife loves her kid. As a man, I can't laugh and cry and sing songs and want candy. I don't eat candy. Want cake. Go to the park. As a grown man, I can't go to the park. It's weird. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, go to an amusement park. I can't, enjoy. I can't smile. There was another great quote that I'm going to put in this video that a woman on a podcast, her name is Liz, said. To be alive is gay.
This is not the masculinity that you're looking for?
Yeah.
What the fuck is?
You know what it is, bro? They want you to not exist. It's like I said, it's gay to be alive.
Bro,
you're just supposed to be here. You're supposed to be a sperm vessel, have children, and shut the fuck up.
Right, yo.
That's what you're supposed to. No emotion, no fun. Don't ever say you love nobody in your life.
Oh, no.
The only time you can say it is when, they're dying in your arms.
That's basically what masculinity has made it for men. To just enjoy yourself is seen as weird. Like, femininity and masculinity, when you really think about it, what does that mean, bruh? Outside of, there should be no, we are just people, fam. Whatever you want it to mean is really completely up to you, and it doesn't matter to me because I'm not you and you're not me. But so many people act as though the way they think and the way they operate is the way everything's supposed to be. And that's the problem with a patriarchal society. It's the problem with any of the archies and any of the isms. And it's usually Well, it's always from a dominant standpoint. Somebody has to have complete and utter control over someone else because they are insecure and low-key hate themselves. And they would rather make you as miserable as them because they think that's going to make them happy.
If it ain't broke, don't try to emancipate
When
it.
in actuality, it does nobody any good because you still have this stuff going on to this day. Because misogyny is not just practiced by men. Women practice it too. Like, just let go of the social norms. Let go of what you think gender identity is. People can be whatever the hell they want to be. What people identify as, I mean, that's up to them. It's really as simple as far as like, if you see somebody say I'm they, them, just respect it. Trying to do the mental math, the Zach Galifianakis numbers going all over the place, figuring out like why are we like this now? Because things change. And if you allow them to change in a way where you are understanding and you see a different perspective to the point where you're like, okay, I don't live that way, but I understand it. And this is not anything that is harming me directly or anybody around me. So I'm going to embrace it in a way that I'm not going to infringe upon how you operate. Because that has nothing to do with me. Basically, I'm going to mind my damn business because it has nothing to do with me. And if you are around me or in my circle, in my space, and something happens to happen to you where there's people that aren't understanding how you operate to a point where they're just like, okay, I get it. It ain't hurting me. This is just how you operate. I'm seeing from a broader point of view. And they're trying to hurt them. You do what you can to make sure that they aren't oppressed. Because anybody oppressed is everybody oppressed. If they come for them in the light, they'll come for you in the dark. So make sure when they do, you got your do-rag cake rolled. All right, peace.